the science.
The fight is the blood of 1,000 men and women was spilled within these walls. Limbs twisted and broken, iron gouts from bloody sockets, flesh burned black.
Please. You wait for death. In death, there are no accidents, no coincidences, no mishaps, and no escapes. What you have to realize is that we're all just a mouse that a cat has for a tail.
The number you have reached, 911, has been changed to a non-public number.
Warning, the following show contains conservative posturing, radical Christian ideas, and may offend pagans, Wiccans, Islamic fundamentalists, and other unenlightened individuals. Callers and guests may be subjected to brash and offensive comments by the hosts and any other type of bullying tactics available. But that's okay. We know why you're here.
This concludes this test of the emergency broadcast system.
Tonight is Monday, March 19th, 2007.
Hello, boys and girls. Once again, welcome back to World of the Unexplained. This is your host, Jay Scott. I don't know where Trent's at just yet. He's probably lost in the horrible traffic jam in Kernersville, North Carolina. Yeah, all four people, exactly. So tonight, I guess me and Chuck are going to try to entertain you. Tonight, our special guest is... Oh, I'm sorry, Chuck, go ahead.
Oh, that's all right, that's all right, man. I was just saying we'll attempt to entertain.
Okay, yeah. Well, tonight we have with us our very special guest, very, very nice lady, Angela Faye Moore. She is a psychic from Marion, North Carolina. She's been on Coast to Coast with George Nuri. She's done all kinds of stuff. She used to have her own show at WWNC in Asheville, North Carolina, and it was called the Hillbilly Psychic. She is also in the film Talking Tall that includes not only myself and Trent Lackey, but Joshua P. Warren, Verado, Matt Matan, and a lot of other local North Carolina radio show hosts. So without further ado, please know you can call in anytime tonight, 877-722-7382. That's 877-SCARE-YOU2. Or locally, 336-996-1596. Angela will be more than happy to give you any readings or talk to you about anything that you want to hear from her on. So I guess we'll just bring her on. Angela, thank you so much for being a guest on World of the Unexplained tonight.
Well, thank you for having me.
How are you?
I'm all right.
Okay, well, when did you? When was the last time you went on air with WWNC?
Well, I've been off WWNC for about a year now. Then, of course, I had a show as well at WNCW. Actually, if you go to my website, you can hear a few of those episodes of that show. But I decided to take a break for a while from it all. Just felt like I had finished. As I was telling you before we came on air, have you ever had that feeling that you just kind of are done with something?
Oh, yeah.
And that's sort of the way it was feeling, although at some point I may go back, especially with the Metaphysical Matters that I did. I really enjoyed that format and whatnot. But like I said, there's a few copies things that you can go to my website and hear. And so, I try to keep that alive through that.
Okay. Well, guys, if you're in our chat room, I guess... Some people are having some trouble logging on. I guess if they're having trouble logging on, then they're definitely not listening. So anyway, but I think someone's fixing that right now, though. But anyway, so Angela, I spoke with you before, and you said some things that really freaked me out. Some things that I just thought were very interesting. I've never met anyone quite like you.
I like that. Thank you. I think I'd like to have that recorded and play that back, on a regular basis.
Well, we do podcasts here, so it will be available for in perpetuity, hopefully.
There you go.
But, it's just some amazing things that you said about me that were just so right on. It was really kind of creepy in a way.
Oh, thank you. I don't know if I like that.
No, I'm just saying, for just meeting you right off the bat and be able to tell so much, without knowing my name or my birthday or anything like that, she just pulled all this stuff out, and it was just really amazing. Can you try that with one of my other guys here? Well, no, first of all, I want to ask, Do you think that the bar exam is right for me this time?
I sure hope so. I don't want to have to lose confidence in you. I have right now. I have faith that you are going to do it. It really feels, if I didn't know you right now, I mean, that would be what I was asking you if you were in law enforcement or in legal things other than this, because it's all over you. So I don't know. I think that for whatever reason it's been delayed. I don't know the reason, but I feel like there's a good reason, even though it may not be apparent to us. But it just feels to me like you are where you're supposed to be, and you're just really, really close. And if you have to take a break like I did, from the radio, if you have to take a break from it to get centered or whatever, fine. But at some point, I really feel like you're supposed to own that degree.
Huh. Okay. Well, good. Yeah.
I think you're sabotaging yourself, though.
Really? How so?
I don't know. But when I think of you and that, I get almost a panic in my heart. It's like I get I don't know, like a little, jab kind of feeling, a fear feeling, and I'm wondering, and it may be a subconscious thing, that maybe there's just something in you that doesn't feel ready yet, or maybe there's something that you need to do before you complete that, and maybe unconsciously you're making decisions that are kind of thwarting you, but I honestly feel like I said, to me, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Okay, well, good enough, good enough. I mean, when we originally met, I was sitting the second time for this exam, and she said, Angela told me that, either the second or third time. So I'm counting on the third here.
Third time's the charm, I believe.
That's what I told everybody. It's
it's possible it could go to the fourth time, but, right now I'm going to tell you what to do. This will help you now.
I'm not going for a fourth. I've decided that.
Well, no.
I'm not giving those Islamo-fascists any more of my money.
Well, there you go. Don't say never, but I'm going to tell you what to do to make third time be the charm. This is what I try to teach people. And it won't hurt, might help, okay? So what you want to do is when you're in a calm state of mind, for example, I tell people to take advantage of the time when they're falling asleep. When you're falling asleep, you're naturally in that alpha stage when you're in a psychic place. So imagine you're there taking it, and imagine that it's going really well, just to pretend that, you can see everything so easily, and perhaps suggest yourself something like, the bar is easy.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've already taken the test now. So I'm just
already took it the third time?
Yeah, I'm just awaiting the results.
There's nothing I can do for you.
Yeah, I know that. I'm doomed. Great. No, I'm just awaiting the results, which I should have, and I feel really confident about it.
You should. I mean, really and truly. I don't know why not, because to me it just feels like it's a done deal. It's not if, it's when. So hopefully this is the win.
Now, where do you get these psychic powers from, Angela?
I hate that word powers. I just don't feel comfortable with that, because it makes me feel like I'm a superhero or something, and I'm going to fall. I just got through telling a very sweet man that I talked to that, whatever, I can't stand to be on a pedestal, which he has not put me on a pedestal, but I have that fear of being on one, because if you put somebody on a pedestal, they're going to fall. It's going to happen. It's just an ability, and I think truly it's an ability that lies within everyone. And I think that it's just with some people it's more enhanced than others. And in a way, I think sometimes it's at a cost, because I think the more intuitive a person is, often the less grounded they are, or makes it maybe more difficult for the real world things. You know what I'm saying? So I think that the ability is within everyone, and the more you focus on it, maybe the more intense it becomes. Now, with some people, and I do think this is with me, it's sort of like you don't have much of a choice. It kind of makes a choice for you. It gets in the way of your life, so you've got a choice of maybe to go with it or not. So I've decided to go with it. It's just about vibration. Okay, it's like this, energy. Everything that exists is energy, as you know, and all energy vibrates. And I think that certain vibrations, maybe a higher vibration, in fact, contributes to putting you in such a way that you will absorb or pick up things, other vibrations, kind of if you want to or not.
So you think everyone has this ability?
I think it's part of us, but I think what has happened, we have shifted our focus. And I think especially, I'm thinking maybe starting in the 50s. I don't know why, but I feel right when I say that. Maybe 40s. I'm going to say 40s and 50s.
I'm a 1950s kind of guy, I really am.
Well, I think it may be, though, that society as a whole maybe became more technology-oriented.
Huh.
And we started putting our confidence more in our tools rather than within ourselves. And I think that because we maybe changed our focus, and also I think things that used to be accepted, started to not be so accepted. It became like what used to be a normal thing became an embarrassment. For example, I can tell you an example. If you come to this area, where I live, up here in western North Carolina, you see a lot of people who, like the old folks up in the mountains, they don't think a thing about what I do for the most part. I see a lot of those people, and they're very intuitive. They would believe in things that their children might consider to be superstitious or whatever. And then you got these other people that think, want to attach their fear, their religion to it, and it's just a natural way of being. But like I said, you got the older folks who seem to be more accepting. Then you got their kids, which is the generation of my generation, maybe a little older, okay, which I am at midlife. They just want to, turn away from what is maybe a natural part of who they are. But I'm going to tell you something. I believe strongly that there is a new generation of people being born, okay? And I think this new generation of people are going to be basically being an evolutionary leap in mankind, you might say, okay? And I think that this generation, and I think it's already started, okay? I think with people like maybe me and then a few other people my age, and then more and more younger people, especially with the kids that are being born now, okay? I think they're going to be highly intuitive. I think it's going to be a natural way of being for them. And I think on down the road, it could be that to not experience this is going to be just not heard of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I hate to put you on the spot, Angela, and tell me if you're uncomfortable with that. Let me know, please. But I'm gonna introduce you to Trent, our co-host here, and see. Can you get a vibe off him?
I'll tell you what. I want to get his birthday to give me something to focus on besides his name. Now, as you know, sometimes I walk up to a person and you can't not read them, and you're one of those people where you were that particular night. Of course, that particular night I was already in the zone because I believe I was on the air.
Yes.
And then sometimes, you're in the zone because people are coming to see you and you're kind of, doing your thing. But today, let me give it something to focus on, and we'll see what comes up. Now, here's what happens with me. The more I'm in the zone, the less grounded I am. So, unfortunately, my common sense tends to go out the window, and I get very spacey.
Okay.
I have to apologize in advance for everything I do because the Lord only knows what's going to come out of my mouth once I get into that place.
Oh, well, Scott gets that way sometimes as well.
Only when I'm talking about the Islamo-fascist.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, what's your birthday, dear?
Okay, it's August the 16th, 1976.
God, now I'm depressed. Now I feel old. 76. That's the year I got married. Now that just makes me sad. I was a child bride, I have to say. But anyway, whenever I feel his energy, actually he's got a lot of movement in his energy. He feels to me like he is on the precipice or verge of something, perhaps something big, and I'm thinking career-wise. Whenever I feel his energy, now I could be wrong, but I don't think so. And by the way, I'll tell you something. If I ever tell you something and I'm sure about it, and I can't take it back, then it's just not a matter, again, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. But some things, you got a choice, and I can predict an opportunity, but you can decide what to do with that opportunity. And some things you can change your mind and avoid things, just so you know. But whenever I feel his energy, I feel a lot of anxiety. Now, I think that he is the kind of person that is very sensitive, very, I want to say intense, but I am going to say intense. And I think that as long as he's in control of his world and he's got things moving along the way he wants to, he's going to be good to go. But I also think that if he's not exactly where he wants to be, this could be turned inward and he could experience maybe anxiety. As he gets older, I think he's going to be even more sensitive in some ways, but he'll know how to handle it even better. I think he's going to be a hard-to-know person, and I also think he's going to be difficult in this way. I think that he's going to be the kind of person that if he's in a good place, people are going to want to be around him. They're going to feel like they're in a place where the sun is out. But if he's not in a good place, he's going to want to be by himself to decompress or whatever, and people are not going to understand. In other words, often people will take him personally. So I think he has to be aware of the effect he's going to have on other people. I also feel there's a strong sense of tradition when I think of him, and I don't even know what I mean by that. Maybe it means he's going to value family or things historical that matter to him. But at the same time, he's going to be a maverick. And I'm going to tell you, this is what I feel overall with Trent, okay? I think it's going to be right way, a wrong way, and Trent's way. But I think in the end, Trent's way will be the best for Trent. Now, I'm feeling a strong impression of a woman when I think of him, but it doesn't feel like a girlfriend. It feels more like a mother figure. I'm assuming his mother's still living. She isn't.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
But she must be thinking of you, or you must be thinking of her, because she just seems to be getting stronger in your energy for some reason. I'm not sure why. Maybe she's just thinking about you. Anyway,
Wow.
I'm going to things like money matters, moving, security matters, so it wouldn't surprise me if you didn't make some career choices over the next near future, let's just say near future, because I really don't know time, I guess, but it feels like now. That could be significant, okay? That's about the best I can tell you right now. Although, at some point, I like you living near running water. I don't know why, but I do.
Running water.
Living near running water.
Yeah, I'd like a...
Keeps the
You know,
vampires
not like
away.
a lake so much, but more like a creek or a...
I was joking. I said it keeps the vampires
It keeps the
away.
vampires away.
We were laughing.
That'll work.
You know,
I think that you got something about your eyes. Have we ever met, Trent? I don't remember. You'll have to forgive me.
no, I'm afraid I had the opportunity to come up there, and for whatever reason I didn't, and so no, we haven't actually met in person. No.
You feel familiar, is why I'm asking. But whenever I think of you, I'm going to your eyes, and I do not know why, but I'm imagining something significant about your eyes. I don't know if physically you have very attractive eyes or deep-set eyes, or if it's, I'm supposed to say that maybe you have second sight. Maybe you do. But there's just I don't know, for some reason I'm being drawn there. So take care of your eyes just in general. And you're going to pick up a lot of people's emotions. You're going to be pretty empathic, and I don't think I'm wrong about that. So just have that knowledge. If you ever get around somebody, Trent, and you're fine, but all of a sudden you start feeling stuff and it doesn't make sense to you, it could very well be because you're picking up the other person's energy, and you're just not realizing that it's not your energy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, your emotions. In other words, be aware when you feel emotional in any way, and it doesn't feel right to you to feel that way. Take note. You know, maybe you're picking up something from somebody else. Okay, now I'm going to tell you something on weird, okay?
Okay.
No.
Now, don't get excited. It's nothing bad.
Oh, good.
I'm used to
and then
weird
again,
things.
maybe it is. But the more I'm getting this energy, I am feeling the spirit of a young man, and he has passed over. It's non-negotiable. But I feel like he was either a suicide or in some way self-destructive. Now, you fellers might not know who it is, and that's fine. But I'm not taking it back, okay? It's there. It's not here.
Okay.
And
Go ahead. We just said okay.
Yeah.
I don't know who he is, and if you know, fine. But if you don't know, fine. But there he is, and I just feel like he just needs you to know he's there. I'm not worried about him. I just think I need you to know he's there. But I think he may, at times, his energy may do things with the equipment.
What?
We have had some issues from time to time.
Yeah. Is this like a recent occurrence? This
I'm not sure when it took. I don't know time, but I just feel like I'm supposed to say what I said, so just have that knowledge. And I'm not getting a name yet, but if I do get a name, I'll tell you. Trouble with me is I'm going to tell you the truth. If I try to grab a name, you can forget it, because I think if I push, it just doesn't work that way. But often I'll have names come to me, but I have to kind of look away. But now I am feeling this name, and this may not be this spirit, and I don't know why I'm picking it up, but be mindful of the name Bill if and when it shows up. Don't know why, but I feel the name Bill.
Bill. Not William, but Bill.
I think it's Bill. It's hard for me to hear in this way, so it may be Will.
Okay.
But I want to stop with short. I don't want to stretch it out, you know. But just be mindful of that name if and when it shows up. Now, I'll tell you something. I say this a lot of times. You know, I'll tell people a name, and they'll think, well, I don't know anybody by that name or this or that. But then later, that person will show up. Now, if they show up today or tomorrow, it may or may not be a big deal. But if they show up a year or two, usually it is a big deal. It's just something I've noticed. People come back and report things to me, you know. So that's because, you know, sometimes I tell you the truth. I'll tell people things, and I think, you know, I am so full of crap. You know, I don't know what I'm doing. And it scares me because I think, you know, God, people are just going to beat me senseless one of these days. But it seems like what doesn't make sense to me often, usually, if not always, at some point, does make sense to the person that I'm speaking to. It's just sometimes it's not apparent at the beginning.
Okay, can I throw Mr. Chuck Browder on with you here?
Chuck B. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I guess we could.
Like 6 minutes.
We're going to open the call lines up though too, guys. If you guys want to talk with Angela, it's 87.
Wait. Somebody there's getting a car. I'm not sitting here.
I'm sorry.
A car. I feel somebody having a car change, a new car, different car, or I'm not sitting here. Don't know what it is, but this just in.
That would be me with the new Porsche Boxster.
You don't want that, Scott. That's a money pit. Kind of nice.
That means I passed the bar, guys. The Porsche comes. All right.
No,
but these numbers here, guys, 877-722-7382. That's 877-SCARE-YOU2, or locally 336-996-1596. Call in and speak with psychic Angela Moore. I'm assuming I can use the word psychic. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Okay, great. Well, so you've had these feelings. I've got one quick question before we go on a break. I like to go into tangents, but it seems to me from my conversations with you previously that you're a Christian, or you claim to be a Christian. Is this correct?
Yeah, I like the way you claimed.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Scott likes to pass
I do
judgment
this with
a lot.
everybody. I love to pass judgment. It's great. No, I was just wondering, how do these, I know you don't want to call them powers, but
abilities.
How did these abilities fit in with the Bible and a Christian-based faith?
Well, why wouldn't it? It's just a gift like anything else, It's like some people do some things and some people do others, and this is one of the others. I personally believe that everything I do is not only should be done, but I think this is sort of what Jesus had in mind. I mean, I think this is what we're supposed to do, is to be helping one another with whatever we can do, and I think this is just part of the plan. But, I talk to people from all backgrounds. I have Jewish clients, I have Buddhist clients, and, I'm in no way a traditional person. I just think God loves everybody, and I'm not worried about it, and I think what I am is what God made me to be, so there it is.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, that's a...
I guess the only other question I would have is, do you claim to be able to talk to people's dead relatives?
Well, yeah, I claim to talk to them. I don't know if they are listening or if they're ever actually talking back, but it seems to be, very often, people do come to see me and they seem to leave contented with what I've shared. And sometimes now, I tell you, it's strong. I'm not going to lie to you. Sometimes I do get stuff that even freaks me out. Then other times it's more of a challenge. It's like, let me explain to you. It's like someone actually explained to me, that it's like an AM radio when you're turning, or an older one of the dial kind, when you're turning the dial and you're trying to, tap into exactly that right frequency. And then when you hit it on your own, you got clarity, you got it, But that is not always a stable thing, it kind of ebbs and flows. But usually whenever I'm doing that kind of work, and that kind of work would be hard for me to do like right now on the radio, because you have to kind of let yourself get down into a very, almost an altered state. And it's, it's not something you just flip, although sometimes I do just, whip it out there. Sometimes it does just happen like that, like with that suicide. But to really get something that would be meaningful to a person, usually you have to really focus, or to not so much focus, almost anti-focus. You have to let yourself be, I don't know the right word I'm looking for, relax to a point where you can kind of mediate for them. But I don't like to just say things like, to somebody, like they're very happy or this or that, although often that is what you get. Usually, you're going to get something that is going to be meaningful to that person so they know what you're talking about. For example, I'll tell you a little example. I know this person would not mind me using this example, but I was talking about a person that had passed in her family, and I kept getting this name, and it made no sense because the person who had passed was a nice lady, a very upscale kind of lady, but I thought, who is Chief? Why am I getting the word Chief? And that happened to be her nickname, which I had absolutely no way of knowing, and it was a specific nickname given by a specific member of that family. So it was very meaningful to them, although to me I thought, I'm just, I don't even know what that is. But that was just one little thing, but that's not a common nickname or a common thing for me to, come up with. But, of course, there were other things as well. And, like I said, yeah, you do sometimes get very mundane messages, such as, I want my mom to know I'm okay, I'm not suffering or something. Sometimes, that is the way it goes. But, like I said, I want, for my personal sake, I want something that's significant. I need to know I'm not full of crap. I need to know I'm doing it right.
Well, I guess my whole thing is, how do you balance out the idea of a Christian doctrine with some of these things?
It's all God's. It's all God's. I feel there are many worlds. I think these worlds overlay one another. I think sometimes there are things in between these worlds that allow them maybe to poke through. I think there's more. I do not believe in black and white. I think there's more gray. I think there are many, many, many things, many different ways to look at it. And I don't claim to understand it all. If I wish I have my theories, but I'm not 100% of understanding all the mysteries. You know, I don't understand why 3,000 people died in 9/11, and you know that can claim we have a loving God. You know, I don't understand it, but I do believe. I make a choice. I choose to believe that there is a higher purpose, a higher plan. I believe that everything's in order, even if I cannot understand that order. I believe that there's mysteries that are not going to be made known to me, but I just choose to believe that in the end it's as it should be.
Well, I guess where I'm really trying to go with this, Angela. Yeah, I know. We're gonna breeze by that for right now. We'll hit that break in a second. I guess what I'm trying to ask is how do you you say that do you believe in the Bible? I guess that's a way to start the question. And if you do believe in the Bible, then a lot of things in the Old Testament, especially talk about the Witch of Endor. And I know you know the story.
Part maybe where it says I better not eat crab meat or I'm going to be damned. Again, I kind of go with more the New Testament, and I don't like to look at you can whip out any verse at any time for any reason. Anybody could say anything they want to and have something in the Bible back it up. The old saying, even the devil can quote Scripture for his own purpose, and I'm sure people, if I did it, some people would say, well, there's the devil doing it, or somebody else might say, see, this backs her up. I can't play that. I will not play that game. It's like this. I look at it as a whole. I look at it as the whole, and I look at my heart, and I choose to believe that God looks at my heart, and that's the end of that.
Okay. Well,
I'm not into, trying to create a doctrine for somebody and say, oh, you must believe this or that. And if people would feel bad about it or have a bad conscience about, who I am, what I am, then they need to just not, be around me or whatever. They just need to pray for me and go on.
I guess what I'm trying to ask is, seeing that some of these things, seem a little contradictory. That's why I'm asking how you merge the two. For example, I mean, where does a person go when they die then? I mean, how do you feel about that?
Well, I can only tell you from what I've experienced, okay? I can only share with you how I see it, okay? And this is what I do. I don't like to say, well, I believe this because I read this or because someone taught me this. I cannot believe something because someone told me to. I have to go by my experience, just like I'm sure everyone else has to go with theirs.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and I'm not a traditional, let me make this clear, traditional Christian, because when you say that, I get like a bad feeling. It's like that knee-jerk, kind of.
I'm a fundy through and through, but go ahead.
I just can't go there. I was raised that way, but I can't go there. I'm more open-minded than that, and I've seen too much and experienced too much to go there. I tend to, like I said, have a view of, I think we're all in God's plan. I don't see that being an exclusionary thing, okay? But back to where I was, which actually I kind of forgot where I was.
I was just asking, where do we go when we die?
I think that for most people, I think that if we're done, we completed what we complete here, I think we go into God's presence. I think that we go through a life review, and I think from that point, it's up to whatever your life plan is. Perhaps that's where you're going to be. Maybe if you did it right, you did what you're supposed to do, whatever, maybe that's it. Maybe. And, like I am not preaching here. I do not know. I believe no one truly knows. I can only share with you my perception, which is, simply my perception.
I don't want to put you on the defensive here.
But I believe that some people maybe come back. Maybe they step back in time to repeat. Maybe they have other lives to have a better human understanding of their experience. Maybe there's some people who have things to do on the other side. Maybe they work as guides. Maybe they work as coaches. Maybe they have better, higher understanding, and they can help us in ways that are not conceivable here. And then some people, they're not done, and maybe they don't want to go. Maybe they're not really ready to go wherever they want to, need to be. Maybe they kind of step outside of time or our world, and they're in between.
Well, I hate to interrupt you, Angela, but we've got a caller. This is Laura from Kansas. Hey, Laura. You there?
Laura.
Yeah.
Oh,
sorry.
hey.
Hey, Laura.
I had you on speaker while I was waiting.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Oh, hi. How are you?
I'm doing good. You're talking to me, Laura.
Yes, I am. I'm sorry. I'm wondering about career in general, the entertainment industry.
I love your energy. I'm going to tell you right now, just so you know. When you came
good.
on, it was like a breath of fresh air, and it's like you cleared out the cobwebs somehow. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to tell you. You said entertainment. When you first said career, I'm thinking, oh goodness, what does she do? But when you said entertainment, I thought that's it. That explains it. You've got that kind of energy, Laura. Like when you walk into a room, and I'm not taking this back. I don't care what turns out you do. I'm feel sure that when you walk into a room, you light it up. There could be you could be sitting in a corner being quiet with 100 other people, and somehow, some way, you're going to be noticed. You have a brightness about you. And I'm sure anybody listening is going to feel the same way. You've got a professional air about you, too. Like, you should be on the radio. You should be doing this, okay? You've got a good voice. You've got good energy. I think what you're supposed to do is to set your goal and to keep seeing that goal until you create that goal, because I just think you're going to I can't promise you nothing. We could all drop dead tomorrow, okay? But right now, I think you're on track to obtain whatever it is you want. You'll do it in steps, okay? You'll probably take step, and then it looks like nothing, then you'll make a big step, okay? And then your big step will be your big break. And I think it's going to be, people you know, so you want to network everybody you know, girl, everybody.
I didn't tell her any of this, Laura. Yeah. I swear I've told her nothing about you. I know Laura, actually, Angela. She does a show. She does another paranormal show out of Kansas called Full Moon Radio.
Well, there you are. And also, Laura, I feel the name Jenny or Jennifer, I'm guessing, but I think it's a female girl, a name with a J, and I want to say Jenny, James, might be Jamie, something like that, okay? I'm not sure. Be mindful of, though, if you know who that is, fine, be paying attention to them. If you don't, be mindful of it when it shows up, because I do feel it, and I've got to say it.
Okay. Might be my sister Janet. She's been trying to help me out recently.
There you go. That would make more sense. And also, I feel somebody's hair. I don't know if it's your hair or her hair, but somebody's going to do something with her hair. Be careful.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Oh, my.
Watch out for the hair.
Yeah.
Another really quick question before I let you go. What do you think about writing?
You want to be a writer as well?
Yeah.
I'm looking. Okay, here's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling like you should absolutely put energy into that. I'm feeling, first of all, some short things, but so I'm not sure what you're writing. It may be articles or I'm looking for short stories. Now, you might write a huge thing. I'm not saying you won't, but I feel like for whatever reason I'm getting a screenplay. I think it might be a screenplay. I don't know what I'm getting, but it seems to come in sections, okay? I don't even know what that means. So anyway, what you want to do is write down everything that comes to your mind. Sometimes you might just get a phrase. Sometimes you might get a page. Sometimes you might have a lot of stuff. But write it down as soon as it comes to you so you don't lose it, okay? Because later on you're going to be able to go back and see something you wrote, and you're going to think, oh, I forgot about this, okay? So I think that's something you should do, you need to do, but at some point I like you with things like plays or something that doesn't feel like ordinary writing to me, so I really don't know exactly what to make of it. It just doesn't feel like a common book or a common thing. It feels more like something that's even nonfiction, even direct, even this is how you do this, okay? So absolutely put it right. Don't hold back.
Oh, wonderful. Thanks so much. I appreciate that.
I just feel like you're going to be somebody. Don't forget me when you're rich and famous.
Don't forget me either.
Yeah, or me neither.
Thanks, Scott.
Hey, thank you for calling in, Laura. I appreciate it.
I like I just threw that in. Me neither.
Okay, guys, open lines again, 877-722-7382. That's 877-SCARE-YOU2, toll free in the United States and Canada, or 336-996-1596 locally.
15 and 96?
15 and 96.
Are you like Borat or something?
I'm Borat, too.
It's a nose.
Okay, guys.
Are we going to take that break?
Bad movie. Angela, are you okay to run through the rest of this hour?
Yeah, whatever you want. I feel like Trent, by the way, I think I'm in Trent now. You'll have to overlook me if I'm off, but I think he's going to be doing some sort of home repair.
I'm scared now.
Is it going to be successful?
No, I think so. I just feel like there's something pressing, and it just needs to, if there's something that needs to be done, don't delay and do it, but it feels good in the end, whatever it is.
Okay. Interesting.
Now, how do you know that these things that I asked this of all my psychic guests, Angela, and please don't take any offense in this, but
it's too late. I already feel offended.
I feel you that just like the liberals. All right, no, we do conservative paranormal talk around here. It's different, but do you think that maybe how do you know for sure that what the information you're getting doesn't come from some kind of demonic force?
You know. I know.
I knew that you weren't looking for that question, but
no, that's a very good question. And see, I'm going to tell you the truth. People often, come to me and they say, "Oh, I want to do this kind of thing. I want to do paranormal investigations, this, that, and the other." And I'm like, no, you don't want to do it. Please leave it alone. Or they want me to come out and do them. And don't get me wrong, I will if I have to. I will if I feel led to.
Okay.
But I feel like there's a lot of stuff out there that is not really healthy, okay? And some people, sometimes it is just, like a person's going through changes and their energy is intense and they may stir up things that are just basically just things. Ignore it, it's going to go away. But sometimes people engage with stuff and it opens the door. And then there's some things that are maybe not demonic, but maybe mischievous spirits or whatever. And I think that it could lead to some things that are can mess with your mind, that can cause you great depression, that can thwart your happiness, that can really mess you up. So but it's like this, man, demons don't have to do all that stuff to mess with you. I mean, you are surrounded by that daily. You are being seduced at all times by every temptation you have during the day that is not of the light. Like you look at somebody with adultery in your heart. Where do you think that's coming from? Your own nature, yes. But do you think there's not other things out there that don't contribute to that? But you also have around you spirits of a higher presence, your ministering angels who help you with that as well. So most of the time we're in good balance. Most of the time if we focus on things of the light, on higher things, on godly things, okay, you're going to be led in that direction, and you're not going to be open to this. But if you're just really not sensible, okay, and you just think that you can take all this lightly, you can get in trouble.
So Ouija boards are bad.
It's in what you do with them. It's like I've told before. If that was, really, this horrible demonic thing, every 12-year-old girl in America would probably have already, destroyed the planet by now because, it's just a game. It's what you do with it. It's your intention behind it. It's a board with numbers. I mean, really, it's just whatever. But, if you really have a bad intention, or if I'm going to tell you the truth now, if you mix stuff like that with drinking, and, you don't got your consciousness right, you're kind of out there, or if you're into, like, things like porn and you're doing stuff like that and you throw some alcohol or drugs in there, you are asking for it. Now, because that stuff's going to open a door, and that's going to happen.
All right, Chuck, you've got to put the pipe down, turn the porn off, and put the Ouija board up.
You really don't want to mix all that stuff, It's just not sensible.
I think that's good sense.
That's pretty reasonable.
But most of the time, stuff like that, I'm going to tell you the truth, what it really does is you're using your own subconscious mind, and all you're really doing is just tapping into stuff that's already inside your mind. It's a psychological phenomenon 99% of the time. That's all it is, But people want to label things, because they don't understand how it works. Therefore, it must be evil. It must be bad. Just because you don't understand something doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean it is. It just doesn't. No, you don't know.
As I say, it doesn't mean it isn't, though, either.
It doesn't. It doesn't mean it is. It doesn't mean it isn't. Maybe it just is what it is. Maybe you should just say, okay, until I know, I'll be cautious.
So you just, I guess your personal belief in this is just you follow what you feel is good, and you try to stay away from the bad.
You follow what you feel is good anyway. We all follow our own heart in the end anyway. We really do. I mean, even if you say, I'm doing everything right, we all have that inner battle. Everybody has that inner battle.
Okay, Angela,
another caller.
I'm usually pretty punishing to my guests. It's just,
I don't think I'm going to be punishing today, but honey, I don't think I can cope with it.
I was going to say I like you though, and I'm pulling the punches tonight.
I appreciate that, darling.
I really, honestly,
Scott, you're a gentleman and a scholar.
No, Trent knows. I mean, he can tell you. I mean, some guests.
You're a scholar and a gentleman.
I called. I remember Rich Anders. We called him an antichrist. Okay, I called him an antichrist.
Yeah.
But it got out of hand. But no, I've got the kid gloves on with you. I'm going to keep them that way. Right now, we've got Dell.
I appreciate it.
We've got Dell from upstate New York.
That's right. Yep.
Dell, you with us?
Yes, I am.
Hey, Dale.
How's it going, bud?
How you guys doing?
Oh, pretty
doing
good.
Great.
Pretty good.
How's Chuck doing?
Oh, being
all right, Chuck.
Being shady as always. Anyway,
what you got for us, Dale?
Well, I don't know. and like to say hello to Angela. Hello,
Hey.
Angela.
How you doing?
Good. You picking up anything?
You feel like a very thoughtful person to me, actually, a person who lives in his own head, a person who, I don't know, you feel intriguing. That's not the right way to say that. You intrigue me. Let me put it that way. Yeah, you do. You feel like a thoughtful person. And I think a curious person, a person who likes to know the whys and hows and what ifs of the world. I don't know. You feel like I don't know. You pull me in for some reason. I'm not sure why.
I consider myself a searcher.
Yeah, I like that. Searcher, I think that fits you. You feel like I don't know, just almost like you've got one foot here and one foot in another world, you know, like you're grounded and you do the things that people do, but part of you is kind of just out there, and I like that. I like the way you feel.
Could that be why I feel isolated sometimes, even though I'm in a crowd of 100?
Absolutely. How could you not? You know, I think maybe your job, let's just assume that souls have a task, you know, to be have the human experience, okay? I would say maybe your task would be to be an observer of human nature as well as a participant, but maybe it's easier for you to get it as an observer than as a participant at times. Maybe you're feeling like an alien that's been dropped in here to have a human experience. You're thinking, what the heck? Where are all these people? What am I doing here?
Well, I've always felt like I don't want to be here, but I'm here anyway. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does. It does. I think you're making the best out of it, the best you can. And by the way, I don't know if you write or not, but I hope you do at some point because you've got that kind of creative energy. Now, you can tell me I've never done a creative thing in my life. I don't care. I'm not taking it back, okay? Because to me, you feel like you have a pool of creativity, and I hope you tap into that. And you might want to write your experiences at some point because you may be in a position to maybe help other people understand maybe what they're feeling.
Well, I had an idea for a couple of books, and my daughter has pushed me hard to do it, but I've been procrastinating.
Well, I hope you do because I just feel like you got something to say that's meaningful.
Well, you know, I'm pretty much a Joe Six-Pack type, but despite that...
No, you're not. You're not. You may create the illusion of that, but you're not. That's another reason you feel probably that you're not fitting in as everyone else does, because while you're creating the illusion of Joe Six-Pack, and I'm not meaning contradictory, I'm just talking to you, but to me, you're not. You're, again, I'm with the Joe Six-Pack crowd, but I am seeing something they're not. That's the way I would put it. Not to contradict you. I'm just, like I said, I'm just talking to you.
I got one question, though, direct. Now, I come across this possible thing that might help me take better care of my family. I'm not going to tell you the details, but are you getting anything? You think I should pursue this thing or let it go?
With caution, because what I felt was this. I felt, first of all, and this is nothing bad, do not worry, but I want you to make maintaining wellness an important thing this year, okay, for yourself.
Right.
I mean, I'm not worried. You'll probably outlive us all, but I just feel like I'm supposed to say that, okay? There's a little bit of tension in your energy, especially in your stomach area, which is probably nothing again, but I'm going to say maintain wellness, and there it is, all right? Okay. But whenever you're talking about this, I'm thinking that you should proceed, but with caution, because what I'm feeling is there is a break for you or something better. I just feel like there's a little bit of I'm not sure how to put this, but hesitation or maybe a slight delay, or let's just say a little bit of a curvy road before you actually get to that place. So you're on the right track in general, but don't push and don't go too fast. Don't try too hard. That's it. Don't try too hard. Just kind of keep walking and let yourself be guided. But I do think regardless of what decision you make, you're kind of due.
I'm kind of what?
Due better luck, maybe.
Due?
D-U-E, Jew. Yeah. We're from the South. We're from the South here, Dale.
I thought you said I was doomed. I was going...
You're doomed. You're doomed.
No, it's Trent. It's doomed. You're okay.
Oh, thanks. Well, I'll ride that plane to the ground, then. Yeah. I'm sorry. I like Junior Samples and Dr. Strangelove.
I still want to know what this thing is that's following you around.
Okay.
With the board.
Well, appreciate your insight.
All righty. You take care.
Well, thanks for calling, Dale. We appreciate it.
You guys take it easy.
You too, buddy. We'll see you.
Bye.
Okay.
That outburst was totally uncalled for.
I want to.
Although Dr. Strangelove's a very good film.
I want to sit Chuck in front of the mic. Is that okay, Trent?
No.
Okay. I want to see what you get off of Mr. Chuck Browder here.
Okay.
Hi, how you doing this evening?
Hey, Chuck.
How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Twice. Pretty good.
Put the pipe down, Chuck.
That's twice now.
Yeah.
So what is your birthday, Chuck, so I can find you a little bit?
5/16/77.
Well, you're different from those other guys. I'll tell you that right off the bat.
How can you tell?
I don't know exactly what I mean when I say that either, but you got a whole different vibe to you. I think you're probably what's keeping them there. I mean, it's like your energy is grounded, and I think maybe you're keeping them at times grounded. But not to say that they're not. It's just the way it feels right now, okay?
Thanks, Chuck. Well, I appreciate that.
But whenever I feel your energy, you feel like you have, I don't know, you remind me of Barry White.
Wow.
I don't know.
I need some of that. Send that over here.
Thank you again, then. Wow.
Your energy's kind of smooth.
Two for two. Anything else you're getting off of me there?
I think you're two people.
Wow.
I think you have your one persona that is kind of like, what you need people to see, but I think you keep your true self kind of hidden. I think you're a person who maybe actually at some point may develop a whole other life that you keep to yourself, basically, or very few people will see that part of you. I think that you're going to draw highly conflicted people to you as well into your life, but they won't maybe realize that you have your inner conflict as well, because you'll exude, I think, a calm. But I think that you have, actually, I think it's great you're in the field you're in. You'll be awesome, okay? But you have energy like a lot of healers have. You kind of got a...
For those of you up north, that's heal, H-E-A-L. Okay, go ahead.
I'd appreciate that translating there. But you do. You've got that kind of... I don't know, you make me feel better when I get in your energy. The bad thing about that is, though, like I said, a lot of times people have that kind of energy. They'll attract people to them who are, like I said, often very conflicted or difficult. So you may be prone to difficult relationships or whatever because, it's like you're going to make them feel better. So they're going to, and you're going to try maybe to fix people sometimes without even knowing you're doing it, too. So you got to make sure that sometimes you are in your bubble, actually. But whatever.
Wow. That's a lot to take in.
You've got I don't know, you're the kind of person that should accumulate a lot of stuff in your life, by the way.
That sounds right, too.
You may not have any actual cash, which will probably a lot of stuff. I'm actually wondering if you might be getting a second home or a cabin or like at some
Wow.
point. You might have a second, like a retreat. You need one, I think, so I hope you get it.
Awesome.
Unless you already got it.
Wow.
Interesting.
Awesome reading. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to bring one more up, and then I'm going to open the lines back up. Mr. D. Clement, step on up. I'm sorry to keep doing this to you, Angela, but it's fun.
That's the last one we promised.
We promise this is the last one from our little group here.
All righty. And who am I talking to now?
This is D. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. D, will you spell that for me?
Yeah, D-double-E.
Okay. I wanted to make sure I was getting it right. You're a little bit in the distance, kind of hard to get a hold of you. What is your birthday?
It's 12/13/1975.
Oh, I think you're the one I've been filling in the background the whole time. You've got a quick energy. It's like now I see you, now I don't, okay? And I think you're going to be a person like that, okay? So you may be, when you're about something, I think you're going to be all about it. Whatever you're doing, you're going to be 100%. But suddenly and without warning, you may be off into something else. In general, and this is a general thing, I just think, and I'm getting a little bit tired. It's late in the evening, so you'll have to forgive me if I do get general. But I feel that this could be a significant year for you, okay? And I want to say last year too.
Okay.
So I'm thinking a lot of the decisions that you've made, maybe last year and maybe on up into this coming year, could be maybe carrying more weight than usual. And that some of the decisions you're making now could maybe carry weight maybe 7 to 10 years from now, actually. But I feel like it's good. It's positive, I think, okay?
Good.
And be mindful of Texas. I don't know what that's about, but I think I just felt Texas. And and I think I feel Boston. I do not know, okay, what that's about, but I'm going to say I feel Texas and Boston floating around out there somewhere, all right? But it could be that you should be paying attention to either opportunities from those places or perhaps people who are connected to those places, okay? So just, if it makes sense, if you've got friends out there, that's probably all it is, just film that. Otherwise, just be mindful of any future things that are connected with those two places. And again, I have no idea why. It could be personal, business, but it's there, so I got to say it.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
He's got a different kind of energy. I think that he's the kind of guy, like I said, one day he just may decide he's got to be somewhere else.
He's going to leave us.
He could. I mean, where somewhere else is, I don't know. He's just got that kind of like, now you see him, now you don't.
Well, as long as it's not the Somewhere Else Tavern, we're all right. Wow. Okay.
All right, well, good. Thank you.
We got 5.
Actually, he's got out California in his energy, too, where I'm not sitting here. And I don't know, I just feel like if he's not been a traveler, he probably will be.
Yeah, I've been around a little.
Yeah, he has. He just came back from England, so yeah, he
that's so cool.
He travels a lot. Yeah, great. Okay, we've got 5 minutes before the top of the hour break. Actually, 4. I'm sorry. Well, 3.5. If you guys want to give us a call here, 877-722-7382. That's 877-SCARE-YOU2. The call is toll free in the U.S. and Canada. Or locally, 336-996-1596. We're speaking with psychic Angela Moore. So you've got a big group of guys in here, and we do this thing just once a week. And I guess we're all just a strange little cesspool of people.
Strange little cesspool of people. I like how you put that.
Yeah. And Chuck, he's two people at one time here. You've got to. You're shifty. I'm watching you.
Oh, shit, yeah, that's right.
I am watching you, my friend.
Oh, wait a minute. You did apply for the CIA, didn't you?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I made that up. Chuck's not.
So going back to that bar exam question.
Oh, Scott.
I'm kidding. Yeah, the car? Really? She's worried about the car?
Yeah.
Oh, you're supposed to be getting a car?
Yeah, the next couple of days.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, there you go.
Yeah, there's the car reference.
Dee's supposed to be getting a car in the next couple days.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the whole Chuck with his other thing, I think we may know what that is, too.
Do you think so?
Would you consider that a commercial building possibly, Angela?
Oh, it could be. It just feels like a building. I'm assuming it's own, but absolutely commercial building with Faye if he's spent a lot of time there, if he's invested in it.
No, she was definitely pretty right on.
Yeah.
She's right on, yeah.
I still want to know what that thing is on the board, maybe for next hour, man.
I want to know what the Barry White thing is, man. That's awesome, dude. How do I get some of that? It must be the beard. It must be. Yeah, the board thing, that is interesting. That is interesting because, we do have a lot of technical issues from time to time where it's just like we'll be talking to a guest about some really strange topic. I remember Mothman was one of those.
Oh, my gosh. That was the worst.
The hybrid went out. We don't know what was. Everything was hooked up right.
The phones rang, but no one answered.
Yeah, we went through everything. It was just the weirdest experience we've ever had here.
Well, I was actually thinking about the Twin Lakes Lodge.
The Twin Lakes Lodge, yeah, that was. This
true.
is a really good story, Angela. You know Dr. Al Prophet, right?
I think I know of him.
Okay, well, Dr. Prophet was with us and John Zaffis, and we were at Twin Lakes Lodge in Greensboro, North Carolina, and we were doing a little investigation, and the faders on our board started moving by themselves. The VCR behind us turned on. It was really creepy.
Chuck and I were right beside it.
I screamed like a little girl. That's on tape.
I was like, did you see that? Did you see
that? Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I know. Chuck was screaming like a girl, too. He was, oh, my God. Yeah, look at that.
I can't believe that. And
it was really crazy.
Yeah, to say the least. It was very, very odd.
Well, listen, Angela, hang tight with us. We're going to take a break. If you guys want to call in, like I said, the lines are open, 877-722.
And we're back. World of the Unexplained. Angela Moore. Guys, the numbers are 1-877-722-7382 or 1-877-SCARE-YOU2. The local number is 336-996-1596. And apparently, I left the room and came back, and there's a caller.
That's right. It's Chris Jones from Atlanta, Georgia.
What's up, CJ?
Chris from Atlanta, how you guys doing?
Doing great. Good to hear from you. How are things down there in Georgia?
Atlanta.
Not bad. I can't complain too much. Just want to say hello to your guest, Angela, right?
Yes.
Yep. Hey.
Go ahead, Chris.
Go ahead, man.
Chris?
Chris, are you there?
Hello, Chris?
Hello?
Sounds like a dog ate him. It really did.
Y'all tried to.
Okay.
Did we lose Chris?
I think we
did. With a disturbing animal noise to end the whole...
You've heard nothing yet. If you think that's disturbing, just hang on.
I mean, it really did. It sounded like some kind of...
Well, we heard something
animal
earlier that we all looked at each other at. It sounded like someone was wailing. I don't know if that went out over there.
Oh, my gosh.
It sounded like a person.
I did not have any wailing going on at this house.
No, seriously, it sounded like a person in the background going, ah, like that or something.
Yeah,
and we all looked at each other, and I was like...
Okay, I am telling you, I am promising to you, there was no such sound coming from here whatsoever.
I'll have to listen to that later.
Yeah.
Go ahead and drop that line then. I don't know what happened. Chris, if you're listening, well, obviously you are, just call us back.
Call back.
So, or anybody else that wants to call, like Trent said, the number's 877-SCARE-YOU-2 or locally 336-996-1596. It's interesting. We were mentioning a couple things, and you know, this problem that we constantly have with the boards. You know, do you think that might be caused by this supposed spirit?
Yeah, it's a man. I mean, I feel a spirit there. Again, it's suicide, and the more I think about it, the more I feel like I'm right. And maybe it's not always intentional. Sometimes just their energy will.
Is this connected specifically to me, Trent, or to us, the group?
I think it's more to the place. That it feels more like maybe the property, the area, but it's very likely that this energy could maybe follow. I don't want to say follow you around, but I want to say follow you around. Maybe he finds you interesting.
Follow me around.
Follow someone there around. But
hopefully it's you and not me.
Oh,
all right.
Thanks, Scott.
We've got Chris back from Atlanta. Chris, Chris, can you hear us?
Yes, I'm here. I'm sorry about that.
Good.
Okay. Well, go ahead and ask
my werewolf or something. But...
Yeah, go ahead and ask your question, man.
Okay. Well, first of all, I want to warn Angela that I'm generally the person who goes after the callers. I apologize about this.
Goes after the callers.
Oh, God, he's going to apologize in advance. This is not going to be good.
That's usually what I do.
I say, I was waiting, not last week, but Pastor Harry, I was waiting for him to hang up on me. I really was. So I apologize now.
Oh, my gosh.
Generally, I don't want a reading. I know all about my other selves and what I'm going through and all that stuff. But I'm just curious. Have you ever wound up doing any kind of a reading or talking to someone and then having them look at you and go, you have no idea what you're talking about?
No, but I have had people, something close to that, and it was my mistake. Now, don't get me wrong. Now, let me tell you, I am a human being, and like all human beings, I am flawed, okay? And I feel deeply that the vision I get is right. And but because I am flawed, I may misinterpret that. And sometimes, you know, I think I'm saying it in the right way, but I'm not. But now, have I ever had people say, no, wait, I take that back. Has anybody ever said to me what you said in that tone or in that way? No, heck no. But have I ever said to somebody somebody said to me, like, later, they come back and say, you know, I thought you were so wrong, or I thought you were totally off, but it turned out, you know, you were right, you know. But now I have had something happen like this where someone actually was on the radio, and they had called in as a station that I'm on a whole lot up in this area. And people, it's so weird because you always get people in cycles. So you will always get almost always the same people, the same birthday, or people asking the same question. It's just funny. Usually you can predict everybody's going to ask us about this. And this day everybody was asking about babies, or if they're going to have babies or whatnot. And I had this one guy call up at the very end, and the minute he called, I didn't like his voice. I didn't like him. I just didn't like him, okay? But, you know, I try not to be that way, but, you know.
That was Chris.
Oh, Scott.
No, it was like, he was a smart aleck, and I could feel it. But, you know, here's where I mess up. I doubt myself sometimes. Sometimes I shouldn't. I should just go ahead and say what I got to say, but I'm always so worried about hurting somebody's feelings or making a mistake. Like, you know, I said, I am a human being. And what if I tell somebody something bad and it turns out, you know, and I worry them unnecessarily or something? So I have to be real cautious because I'm not going to be, you know, all flip and say, like, oh, I think this person's dead or this or that. You know, I'm not like that. I'm going to try to be careful and be helpful, okay, to people. But anyway, the guy said, do you think my wife's going to have any more kids? Well, my first thought was no, okay? And I wish, I should have said, I knew I should have said, my daughter was there. She knew it. Everybody knows. I should have just said, no, I'm sorry. But did I? Well, I know, because I am stupid sometimes. So what I said was, it feels difficult for me because, I'm thinking, what if they're really got their heart set on it? I don't want to hurt their feelings, but it just felt wrong, So I said, it feels difficult. I said, maybe, because I didn't want to take away their hope, because I'm not God. I might make a mistake. Maybe they are going to have a kid, right? So I say, it feels difficult, but maybe, it's really hard for me to see that right now. Maybe at some point, but right now I'm not seeing it. Well, he said, so you don't think so, huh? And he was getting kind of belligerent, and I said, are you sure you really want a kid, because I'm thinking this don't feel right. So I said, are you sure you really want one? Yeah, we really want one. We really want a kid. Well, I tried really hard to see it, and so I actually did start feeling the kid. And I'm thinking, well, maybe you'll adopt one, or maybe there'll be a kid coming to your life. I think I did say it that way. I believe. Now, I'm not sure, but I believe I said I think maybe you might have one come in your life, And I'm not going to take that back. I actually do believe what I said right there. I feel like there is a kid going to come in our life. I really do believe that, but I didn't know if it's adoption or what, but it felt like it. And then he goes, and this is like one of the worst moments of my life, and I'm going to lie to you, it was. I just thought I was going to die, because he goes, well, that's kind of funny, because my wife's 6, 7 years old and doesn't have hysterectomy, So, see, I screwed up, and it's just like, please, God, kill me now, because it felt that bad. But, it's my own fault. I should have been more direct. I shouldn't have felt sorry for him. I should have said no. But on the other hand, to be honest, I tell you what, and that's what I told him, I believe there will be a kid coming in his life. It'll probably be his grandchild or great-grandchild. Actually, I think it's going to be his great-grandchild. I do believe there will be a child in that family. I'm certain of it, But I messed up. I can't say I didn't. I messed up. It was obvious from hearing the conversation. I was trying every way in the world not. It was pretty obvious that I didn't really feel it. It's to my credit, But so that's one of those cases where I tried to be nice. I tried to give somebody benefit of the doubt. I tried to work with them, but his intention was to be a smart aleck, and there it was, But you learn. That's how it is. You go and you learn. And another time I had that experience, somebody like it. Oh, I can't hear you.
Go ahead.
I
was just going to say,
go ahead,
I'm the kind of person who would actually try to set you up for something like that, but you just sound too nice for me to go through with it. So
yeah, don't
going to do that tonight.
Don't bash Angela.
I do tend to take everybody seriously, and I do tend to take everybody to heart. I got feelings, and they can be hurt. Thing is, I'm not trying to. Here's what I have learned. Because I think I try to be fair with people and honest with people, and I don't try to get nothing on nobody. If I don't know, I'm going to tell you I don't know, because some things I don't know. But I think most people try to be nice to me, and so that's usually the way it goes. But, like I said, I'm a human being. There's always going to be something can happen to mess me up, and there it is. So what? Life goes on. I think, for the most part, it's helpful, but we'll see how it all turns out in the end. I believe I am my own harshest critic, because to be honest, like I said, sometimes I think, well, this, what the heck? I'm crazy. Am I making this up? It's other people that come back to me time after time after time, and they tell me, well, you said this or you did that, and you blah, 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 and this and that. And it's people I respect. It's people that are, smarter than me, or people that are educated, or people who are not naive. And it's to be honest, I'm going to tell you the truth, it feels like a burden. I feel like I carry this huge weight because I don't want to mess up. I really, really don't want to mess up. And I try so hard not to mess up, but it's scary and it's hard because you don't want to let people down. And I'm going to tell you something else. It scares me to death when I see some people come to me who will believe every word I say. That scares me worse than the people that don't believe me, because people that don't believe me, I don't have to worry about them so much, because they usually, like I said, 99 times out of 100, they come back and say, oh, my God, you were right. I wasn't sure what you were talking about, but that happens daily, and it thrills me to hear that, because it gives me confidence, because I need that, because I've struggled. People that know me will tell you I struggle with my own confidence, even though I holler at everybody else for not having it. I try to make everybody else have it and boost them up, but I struggle too. But when I see a gullible person, I have to worry myself to death about them, because then I think, if they believe everything I say, maybe they're going to believe somebody that might not have their best interest at heart. You know what I mean? And see, this is what bothers me too. I don't like it when people come to me and they think I'm going to make their life be something for them or create something. I think we have to make our own choices. I think you have to take responsibility for your own life,
Mm-hmm. I'd have to agree totally. Now, if we got time, I've got two more questions. One's kind of long, one's kind of short, so I'll go ahead with the long one first. Have you ever?
Hey, go ahead and give us the two, and then we're gonna let you off the line if that's okay, and she can answer them. Is that okay, Chris?
Oh, no problem. Yeah, no problem at all.
Okay.
The first question is, have you ever done a reading that just completely freaked you out, where you just wanted to get up, leave, not speak to the person, not answer any questions, just get out of there as quickly as possible?
Yes.
So that's my first question.
Yes.
And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to shoot my second question, and I'm ready for the answer on this one. I know I'm probably putting you on the spot here, and I apologize about that, but what are the winning numbers for this Wednesday's Mega Millions?
Oh, my God.
It's a secret. I will be doing that myself in private later. I will not be sharing it.
Who the winners are this Wednesday?
Oh,
my dad's
Chris.
actually pretty good at that, but unfortunately, that's not where my gift lies. Not yet, but one of these days, old Ange will win, and that'll be the last you see of her.
Well, thanks for calling, Chris, and
All right,
I'll get her to
Chris.
go ahead and answer that question.
Have a
for
good
you.
one.
You too.
Okay, Angela, go ahead. This
Yeah.
first question about actually leaving and
Very,
wanting
a very
to get
good
out.
question.
Yeah, there's sometimes you do get that uncomfortable feeling, but this time it was actually it really made sense later, but didn't make sense at the time. But actually, it was two times. But one time I had a guy come see me, and I'm starting to get in his energy, and I am feeling bad. I mean, like I am seeing stuff like murder and theft and just, oh my God, it was just, I'm crawling with bad stuff. And I'm thinking, man, please don't let this man kill me. Please let him just leave and leave me alive, And it was just awful. And this was when I first really started talking to people. And I've been this way all my life, but, I just started talking to people a few years, maybe 12 years ago or so. And so I hadn't really wasn't that acquainted with human beings yet at this intimate level, you might say, and not really aware of how things work yet. But anyway, as I'm talking to him, and I'm telling you again, I was feeling depression, just violence, like you wouldn't believe. Finally, though, because I really did. I wanted him. He was in my house. Actually, it was just, please just leave, get out of my house. But it finally turned out that it revealed to me he worked at a maximum security prison.
Oh, okay.
So I think he was absorbing. I know he was absorbing the energies of all the inmates, and there's some decent people in prison that need help and all that, but obviously there's some really bad energy there, and evidently he was absorbing it, and I was just picking that up. And at the time, man, I didn't know, but I'm telling you, I'm thinking, what the heck is in my house,
Yeah.
But now there's been situations where I've been like in a paranormal investigation or something like that. And I'll tell you another thing. One time I actually fled my own home because
Really?
Yes, sir. I don't know what. I'm telling you right now, I think I have lived in the most haunted places ever. But looking back on it, I think it was me stirring stuff up because of my nature. But I had this one, without meaning to, but I had this one house, and I'm telling you, it's where I lived when I was a little kid, and I actually moved back in there and bought it when I was grown up. And that stuff started happening. This is when I actually really became perhaps awakened to more in tune with what was going on with me. Even though it was this way all my life, it kind of was brought to my attention, you might say, mid-30s or so. And, man, I was going through turmoil and drama, all that kind of stuff. Again, will stir things up and whatnot. And there was an energy in that house that came through. It was like a wind, but not a wind. I don't really know any way to say it, except that's the way it felt. And it was so intense. I fled. I literally fled my own home. I felt like I was going to be consumed by something. I can't even tell you what it was. And I didn't know what I was going to do. So I went out and found this lady that I know that would come to see me from time to time, just a little Taurus woman, and chain-smoking woman. And she was just real grounded, like not overly educated, just kind of real plain person. Anyway, I brought her up to the house. I brought her in, had her sit there, smoke a few cigarettes. It sounds awful, but she's like, you could put this woman in the most haunted place ever. It's going to be grounded out. She's not going to see nothing. Nothing's going to happen. So I just had her go in there and sit a while. She got everything calm for me. I walked in. I said, how was it? She said, I ain't seen nothing.
Angela, I want to stop you there. We've got,
we got
Steve from Columbia, South Carolina. Steve,
All right.
how you doing tonight?
I'm all right. How y'all?
We're doing
Fantastic.
great. Thanks for calling.
Nice to hear you.
Oh, yeah, thanks. Thanks for listening.
Oh, hey, Angel, how are you?
I'm fine. What can I do for you tonight, Steve?
Well, me and the ladies trying to get together this year, and I was calling to see if you knew of what our biggest obstacle is going to be for this.
It does feel like there's an obstacle, and I'm not sure exactly what that is. I don't know if there's someone else in the picture or if there's just somebody not ready. But I think it's like this. I think you can get together with this person, but you're going to have to make sure you make it, each of you have got to decide to make it so, because I think if you really don't put the effort behind it, it's not going to happen. I just feel like there's something wrong.
Right.
So I don't know if it's indecisiveness or circumstances, but to be honest, it feels like a little bit of both.
Well, I might could fill you in a little bit. We live across the world from each other, so...
Well, there you go. That's why it's going to take so much commitment. Plus, I'm going to tell you something. Are you listening, Steve? This is important.
Yes, I am.
I want you to ask yourself, now this is very important, why are you choosing someone at such a great distance? Because a lot of times, and I'm not saying your feelings aren't real and valid and this won't happen, okay? But I'm going to warn you, because if and when the time comes to be close up, mundane, day-to-day, every kind of thing, you might actually find yourself backing up or even freaking out, or your partner might back up or freak out, because sometimes what happens is we really want to be intimate with somebody, Steve, but when it's every day to day to day to day, it's like we can't cope with it. It hits on things, our vulnerabilities or whatnot, and we kind of get afraid and back up. So when it becomes closer to being real, like in your face, like, that maybe your dream, okay? But when it actually happens, it could actually be a little bit scary, and you might not be as prepared for it as you think. So when it gets closer, either you or your partner one might do some backing up, okay?
Right.
So you're going to have to make up your mind. You're going to see it through and be prepared to see it through, okay?
Okay.
Wow.
Did I get it for you, Chris?
Appreciate you seeing you.
Oh, Steve, I'm sorry. I just said
Scott.
Chris, last caller. I'm so sorry.
Well done, Scott.
Thank you. Yes.
Well done.
No, is that, you got anything else?
No, not tonight.
Okay.
I'll just keep listening.
Okay, well, thanks for calling. We appreciate it.
Thanks for listening, Steve.
All right, talk to you later.
All right, take care.
Bye now.
Bye.
All right. See, we're polite here at this show. You see a lot of radio show hosts. Yeah, they just drop you. They're just like, and that was, they do. They do it all the time.
We'll talk to you and
but we're not like that.
Open the door, shake your hand.
We're the good old boys of paranormal radio.
We're the good old boys of paranormal radio.
Well, I laugh at Josh about this all the time. He does Speaking of Strange out there in Asheville at WWNC, and on Speaking of Strange, even when he has me on as a guest. And I'm bashing the liberals and throwing my crazy ideas out there, and he even with me as a guest, he'll throw me on hold. He won't talk to me during the break. Then he'll just cut me off when he's done with me. He's like, and that was Jay Scott. And I'll hear the click, and I'm like, thanks, man.
We got
okay.
Phone lines are lighting up.
We've got
like a Christmas tree.
We've got Cora from Davie County.
Okay.
And go ahead, Cora. You with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, go ahead.
Do I have to be specific about a question, or can you just tell me anything?
It would be helpful under these circumstances if you could shoot me a question.
How about work?
Golly, bum. I don't know if y'all felt the stress when you said that, but I did.
Don't have to be a psychic for that one.
Are you currently employed, Cora?
Yeah.
Okay, because all I can tell you is when I think about work, I just feel stressed and tense. But I do feel that I think wherever you are, and I'm not sure where you are, but I think you're needed and you're productive and it's good for them maybe. But I'm wondering if you're going to be outgrowing a situation, to be honest, Cora. And I think if you really want to stay there, you can. But I think if you would like to create something different, I think you can do that too with some effort. Because I feel like when I think of you in work, I just feel a heaviness. I don't know. I just feel like I need to be somewhere else. Now, if you're not feeling that way, great. That's great. But whenever I think of you, that's sort of what I'm getting. So I'm thinking, like I said, probably stay there forever if you want to. But if you wish to move on, I think you'll be able to make that happen. Because I just think, again, a sense of outgrowing a situation is the best way I know how to put it.
Okay. And nothing else? Anywhere else?
I'm thinking, give me your birthday. Give me a little something to focus on.
12/15/77.
Yeah, I think it's time. I don't know time for what, but I think it's just time in general for you. I think that, when I say outgrowing a situation at work, I think maybe outgrowing your life, okay? So I'm thinking you're going to be maybe doing some cleaning house, Cora, and it could be like you kind of get tired of everybody and everything and kind of clear. You don't have to. You got free will, okay? But it just sort of feels to me like you're going to be cleaning house and maybe making way for kind of a new life, to be honest. Again, you can do what you want to, but you got that vibe, Cora. You got that vibe, okay? Mm-hmm. And so I'm thinking you sort of feel like a person who one day everything is one way, then the next thing it's like totally different, and it's been maybe your choice to make it be that way.
Okay.
So as best I can tell on that deal, honey.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Thanks for calling. All right.
I'll tell you, I don't know what is going on with that lady, but there's some anger building up somewhere. And when she does blow, I don't want to be in her way.
Well, that's actually Trent's wife, and she is a lot like that. We weren't going to tell you who that was, but yeah, she can get really. That's Trent's wife. That was Trent's wife.
Yeah.
Is Trent's wife?
Yeah, that's
right.
Trent's
You better
wife.
watch out, honey. I'm going to take you.
Oh, I already know.
Yeah, he already knows.
You know.
She can't get
tension there, buddy. But I mean, I'm sure she's a very wonderful person.
Oh, she's a nice lady. Yeah.
A nice lady.
Yeah, nice lady.
Come
hey,
on, Scott.
I don't want to make her mad.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Well, okay, we've got about 3 minutes before
And Trent, if she changes, you're going to have to change with her, because if you don't, you'll be one of those things that gets cleaned out.
I see that.
Cleaning house, I'm thinking Molly maid service, or I'm like, wow, talk about a change of
No,
career, and
like
then I realized that it was
house.
actually like a metaphor, and I know I
Metaphor.
don't know why my brain is like numb
yeah.
right now. I'm like, then I was like,
wasn't
gosh,
like
I'm an
that.
idiot. Yeah, it took me a while. Well, we're going to take a break here in just a little bit. I think we've got time for one more caller, though. Dee's going to shoot that over to us here in a second. But, we were talking about during the first break with you, Angela, about, who you may think the next president was. But we're going to get to that after this break. We've got Amanda from Greensboro, North Carolina. Amanda, welcome to World of the Unexplained.
Hi, thanks for having me on.
Thanks for calling.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Angela.
Hey, and before we go any further, I got to say, somewhere out there, I feel a woman who sings, and I don't know who this is, but I got to say it before I forget, because I forget everything, and not to interrupt you, honey, because I definitely want to get your question, but I just feel this woman out there who is very musical, very, very talented, very, maybe even successful. I don't know if she's successful yet, but she's supposed to be. I think I'm supposed to just tell her just to keep on doing what you're doing, because you've got a gift, and you're making people better just by expressing it. And I'm sorry that's off the wall, but I got to say it because it won't leave me alone. But anyway, now go ahead, hon. What's your name?
My name's Amanda.
Okay, Amanda, what can I do for you?
Well, to put it mildly, I've got a few things up in the air in my life, and I was just kind of wondering if there were any sort of general impressions that you could give me, or...
Okay, you got a lot of anxiety, but that may just be because you're calling in. What is your birthday?
7/25/77.
Okay. I think your nature may just be to be very, God, you're going to be good at whatever you decide to do. Intense is the word I was looking for. I think you're going to be good at whatever you decide to do. I think that what I'm feeling right now with you is just a lot of scattered energy, which you actually just said. But I'm thinking here's your job, is to really kind of put things in priority, to decide what is the most important thing and go from there. At some point, you're going to be managing other people or influencing other people, maybe even having people work for you, or you to be somehow giving guidance to them, either through teaching them or managing them or ordering them about. I don't know which, but you got that kind of energy coming at some point if it's not there already. Okay, first of all, whether you mean to or not, that seems like it's kind of supposed to happen, okay?
Okay.
Are you still there, Amanda?
I am.
I think with the relationship thing going on, if it's not already happening, I feel kind of a dance that either will or is happening, okay? If it's not happening now, then I think it's going to. It's not bad, but there could be an adjustment within a relationship, like you're stepping towards someone and they step away, or they step towards you and you step away, possibly even a triangle thing going on of some kind, because I just feel a dance, if someone know how to put it. But I think that will go on until you decide you don't want it to. But you're kind of got a funny energy, Amanda. I think that you got maybe a hard to get close to energy, but yet there's this need or a need for a certain kind of intimacy, which I think you'll have, but then it's like you set it aside. I don't mean to be too personal, Anna, but that's just something I'm getting. You can do what you want to with the information, but I think you can resolve it if and when you're ready. I'm kind of rambling now, Amanda. You might have something specific you wanted to ask me.
No, not really. other than, I guess, towards the kind of career or job.
You got a lot of feeling, by the way. Not to interrupt you, sweetie, but you got a lot of depth. Just so you know, which I guess you do know because you're you, but you do. You have a lot of, I don't know, you've got a lot of, I want to say, now don't get mad at me because this is not really the word, but potential for heartache, which I don't think you have. Don't worry, but you just got that in you. I don't really feel that depth of emotion that often, but you got that. Just so you know, I'm telling you for absolutely no reason whatsoever. About your career, I don't know if you're taking classes or going to school now. You may probably have that all behind you, to be honest, but I feel there's going to be new learning regardless, okay? Whether that's in a formal way or you're going to do it on the job or whatever or through refreshers, I don't know, but you got some sort of new learning coming to you, okay? And I think you're going to, like I said, make it maybe a giant step, but I feel like I'm not sure exactly what direction, but it seems to be the most obvious, and I don't know what that means, but maybe you will know. If you don't know, it will become clear. Confusion, don't forget I told you this, Amanda.
Okay.
Confusion is the last stage before enlightenment, okay? A lot of times people will experience a lot of confusion, but it's just part of your, let's just say you're being downloaded. There's so much energy coming to you that you can't sort it out. But finally it'll become clear right when it needs to. So it'll just do what's right in front of you right now and expect to be guided or led to the next step, okay? But I do feel an influx of new learning, having to hone a new skill, having to take a step forward, but at some point being influential over other people, perhaps even managing someone else who is very influential over other people. And that's about the best I can tell you right now, honey. I'm kind of tired, but that's the best I can get you at this moment.
Okay, well, thank you.
Well, thanks for calling, Amanda.
Amanda, are you there?
I am.
You're going to be somebody. I don't know what I mean when I say that because I think we're all somebody, okay? But for you, it's different. Don't forget I told you that. It seems important, okay?
Thank you.
All righty.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
Okay.
Great show, guys.
Thanks.
All right. Thanks.
Bye.
She's going to influence people. I don't know how, but she is. I just can't make it go away. She's got a kind of a little bit of a specialness in her energy, but she's also got something in her energy that makes me think that I wouldn't want to cross her.
Uh-oh, watch out, Barry White. No, that was, I don't know, what's the deal tonight? All the wives and girlfriends are calling in. That was Chuck's girlfriend. Yeah, incognito. They're not telling us.
You know, you don't want to, like I said, she's somebody you don't want to get on her bad side. I mean, you know, unless you're in the right, you do not want to be disloyal to that woman.
Well, watch out, Barry.
You do not want to be disloyal to that woman.
Double-sided, dual life.
It's the kind that'll tie you up, chop you up, brother, and
that's right.
Bury you out in the desert somewhere. All right.
Throw your wagon on your middle section.
We're gonna take a break. God, the phone lines will not stop tonight.
This is great.
Okay, we'll go ahead and take this call then in just a second. But you know. Wow. Woo! I'm sorry we're probably tiring you out pretty quick here, aren't we, Angela?
Just a little bit.
I didn't mean for this to be a phone call explosion. I really didn't. I was really hoping for more conversation with you.
Yeah, that's true.
So we may have
it's
to.
It's all good. It's what's supposed to be.
Yeah, well, true. Yeah, so Barry White needs to watch out.
I think Barry White needs just to define what does he want.
Oh, there we go.
Well, the ultimate question to pose to a guy.
Put the pipe down, Chuck.
Put the pipe down.
That's number 3.
I know, that's 3 times tonight.
All right.
Hang on, we've got Rena from Rihanna. Okay, I'm sorry, Rihanna from Massachusetts. I said it wrong.
Well, it's all right. You're south.
Rihanna, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing
That's
great.
An interesting vibe right there. Whoever Rihanna is, you got an interesting vibe.
I sure do. So it's a good vibe, right?
Yeah, it's different. You're different. You're kind of the person I think that could probably do my job. So anyway, what can I do for you?
I could do what? I'm sorry.
You'd probably be doing my job.
Oh, well, I try not to figure people out like that.
I don't particularly want to do it. It seems like I can't not, but you got that kind of thing going on, Rihanna. You've got a very intuitive, spongy energy.
Oh, great. Well, I can't read my own life, so I wonder if I will ever be happy.
I hope so, Rihanna. I hope so. I think a lot of intuitive people struggle with that, to be honest. I think because maybe they absorb too much. But I think that I'm going to tell you what I tell a lot of people. I think what I've had to tell myself is that sometimes we have to just make up our mind that we're going to be happy, and we have to focus on anything and everything that gives us joyfulness and kind of shut out anything that's in our way. And that sounds kind of cold maybe, but sometimes you got to do that in order to survive and to make your life be what you want it to be. So I think the potential for happiness is there, but I think you're going to have to make it so. I think you have to make up your mind that you deserve and are willing to allow that to happen, and make decisions to back you up. But you can't be with people that bring you down or thwart you and expect to be okay. You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure that you're putting energy. Rihanna, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
I want you to think of it like this, Rihanna. You've got a child in you. We all do. We all got a little kid inside of us, right? I think what I'm feeling with you is you got to be a parent to your own little child and treat yourself the way you would treat a little child that you loved, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I think by doing that, you're going to have better. I keep feeling a hospital or something around you. I don't know what the deal is. Do you have anybody around you in the medical field or anything?
No, not really.
Then be mindful in the future that you might be meeting somebody that is, because it won't go away. It's nothing bad. It's not like, oh, my God, Brianna's sick. It's like,
bad thing.
Yeah, just around you. But anyway, whatever. Anyway, I think a lot of what's going to be with you is deciding what you want it to be, okay?
Okay.
But, Rihanna, I'm telling you again, make up your mind that it's your turn, okay?
Okay. Well, thank you.
Well,
thank you, Rihanna.
Okay.
Thanks for calling.
Thanks, Rihanna.
I love her name. I just want to say it over and over and over.
All right. Man,
Well.
I tell you what, it's just like we can't take a break here tonight, but we're going to try to take a real short one. If you'll hang tight with us, guys, we're taking your calls, and I'm not going to give that number out because it's just I'll give it out when we come back.
Yeah.
Maybe we can give Angela just a little bit of a moment to take a breath here, man. I mean, this is.
And we're back. World of the Unexplained. Last very short amount of time. Angela Moore with us tonight. Guys, the numbers are 1-877-722-7382. That's 1-877-SCARE-YOU-TOO. The local number is 336-996-1596. I don't think we have any problem with people getting in the chat room because people are quite eager to call in tonight. But before we go on, we need to talk about your book. Let's go ahead and do that.
Yeah, let me plug our website first. That's www.angela-moore.com. That's ANGELA dash or hyphen, however you want to say it. Moore, MOORE.com. That's correct, isn't it, Angela?
That's right.
Okay. And the name of the book is Through Angela's Eyes?
Yep, that's right, Through Angela's Eyes, and it's a collection of essays that I have written. Some have been previously published in newspapers and stuff like that, and some have been requested to be read by certain radio stations in the area. But they're all true, and some of them are. It's basically how I have perceived my world and things that have happened to me, some of my more bizarro experiences.
Do you have a dog with you?
Yes, it was taking a nap, but it's decided to wake up now.
Wow, okay, yeah. We were just hoping that wasn't something going on here that we didn't know about, man. Yeah, God.
I have a Chihuahua. I'm not going to lie to you. I got more than one Chihuahua. I didn't want to laugh right now.
I've got a Chihuahua, too. They're great. I love Chihuahuas. Yeah, they're awesome.
Unfortunately, one of my Chihuahuas, though, is very, very jealous of the other one. It's like they're just getting ready to break bad at any moment, okay?
They're always like that. Now, you do pet psychic stuff, too, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Honey, I do just about everything. Whatever. You got to do whatever you got to do. But, yeah, it's just a story, like I said. It's about all the things that I've done and have seen and stuff like that. And some of it's humorous and some of it's ridiculous, but it's all true. And like I said, some of it's just outright creepy. You speaking of creepy now, I've actually had a few creepy experiences, and I put those in there as well. So just whatever.
Okay.
And actually, there's some helpful information in there, too. I hope to give a little bit of insight as well.
Excellent. And we can get that through your website or through any bookstore you're saying, right?
Yeah, you can go to any my website, any online bookstore. You can go to your local bookstore, and if they don't have it in, which they may not, but if they don't, they can order it for you.
Okay.
Now, it's a curious thing. I was looking through your website earlier today, and it appeared to me that you don't charge and you just take donations. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm donation-based. I just prefer to do it that way, and I feel good about doing it that way. I actually consider what I do a calling, And so I just like to help people. That doesn't mean it's okay to abuse me and use me, because some people might want to do that. Please, Lord, I need the money. Could even give me some. But, it is, I just like people just give me what they feel good about. And if they feel good about it, I'm happy. I like to do it that way.
Okay,
that's fair
enough.
Yeah.
I got one from the chat room. Is a question here from the chat room. It says, and I've got to find it again. Question for the guest: would you say that you have, quote, word of knowledge? I don't know exactly what that means.
Yeah, I do. Sometimes I do feel that. Now, that happens usually when I'm in a pretty deep place, you might say, when I'm working, you might say, when I'm in that zone. And when I say I'm in that zone, I never give myself over 100% to anything, okay? I do not do that. I do not believe in that. Your human body can't take it. This is I think what I do is it takes an enormous amount of energy. It does all kinds of havoc with your blood sugar. It's very intense. But, I do have a line. I don't allow myself to be consumed by it. But when I'm in that very deep place, I am often given what I would consider to be a word of knowledge, and it does seem to resonate with whomever it's given to when it happens. So sometimes I do feel that way. But, I guess it would be up to the person who is on the receiving end of what I'm doing to decide, about that, really.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm gonna give those numbers again real quick, if you don't mind. 877-722-7382. Call and speak with Psychic Angela Moore, or locally 336-996-1596. That's 1-877-SCARE-YOU2. It is a toll-free number anywhere in the United States or Canada.
But I guess what I was talking about, whenever you give these readings or your impressions of people when they talk to you, there's a certain amount of, I guess, interpretation on their part that it becomes self-fulfilling, or it becomes self-fulfilling in a way that may not be where you had the initial impression. Do you see where I'm going with that?
This is why I'm telling you about having to be careful on my end and on a receiving person's end.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why I tell you when I worry about people who are just open to anything coming to, like somebody said something, so therefore it's gospel. You have to use your common sense. But I have had people say to me, you told me this, and I thought you were talking about this, but later I realized you were dead on about this.
Mm-hmm.
But in time, it becomes clear. And I think sometimes you get what you're supposed to get. You might want to ask me question A, but maybe I told you something totally unrelated, but then down the road you see why you got what you got, and you got what you needed to get. I think that in the end it works out the way it's supposed to. I think that's why I don't, when people come to me, I try to be casual. We have a conversation. I tell you dog stories, whatever. I don't like for it to be this, rigid thing. It's a conversation. I like it when people come together. It's even better. Whatever. I like it to be loose, free, and then I like just to talk like we're talking. We have a conversation. We have a back and forth. We don't have this, bizarro kind of ritual we have to do. And that's when it works. And that's when people seem to leave, pretty happy, or they're putting on a good show if they're not, whatever,
I've got a really crazy question for you, Angela.
Oh, Scott.
No, it's a very serious question, and I just want to know what you feel about this. Do you believe that, and Chuck wanted me to ask about the election, but do you believe that the United States will see another attack from terrorist groups?
Oh, it's not if, honey, it's when. I think 90% it's when. And I probably, and again, I don't know, but my feel is, and usually I'm not wrong because I did get feelings on this stuff. And I have witnesses. It's actually taped, so, I'm not just telling you stuff. A lot of this stuff I do feel it is recorded, whatever, but I feel something going on out there that feels more likely to be a germ or chemical type thing. Probably something that will involve transportation, but I'm not sure if it's going to involve it like, something getting blown up or some sort of infected person doing something, in a place where other people will be infected or whatever. It just feels likely to involve trains, subway, airport. I don't know. That's where I'm going with it right now, and I don't think I'm wrong. I don't. But, maybe it'll be thwarted. My hope is it'll be thwarted, but right now it just feels like something's already being put into motion. But now I don't know time, okay? But I don't know. I'm just going to have to say that's what it feels like to me, and I'm going to stick with it.
So you don't feel like this would be like any kind of atomic weapon being...
A dirty bomb is absolutely likely. I do feel something at some point involving a bridge. Not Not sure what that's about. But,
my producer says school buses.
Well, that's, again, I think all these ideas that we're picking up, I don't think they're just coming out of our own heads. I think a lot of people are picking up energies, okay? A lot of people are kind of, getting the vibe. But I'm going, for some reason, I feel like when I'm talking to you, I feel like I'm in a subway station while I'm speaking to you. I don't know, I don't get out much, okay? So feels like that to me. It feels like, brick and, arched doorway, wide arches. I think there's a railroad track nearby me. I just feel something going on right here, and it feels like in a major city, in a major hub, but I'm not sure what I'm feeling is what kind of attack it is, but I know there's something going on in this place. I'm not sitting here. I'm certain of that, and I do feel it's not, I think I'm straight up north from where I am, because I don't know, maybe northeast. I'm not sure it's New York, though. It may be, but it feels just northeast. But again, I could be wrong. I don't think I'm wrong. As a matter of fact, I know I'm not wrong on what I'm feeling. Whether or not it gets carried out, maybe that won't happen. My hope is it will not happen. Okay. But I'm not wrong on the plan because I don't know. I'm not. So whatever, we'll see.
Okay.
Well,
let me change.
Time will tell.
Let's change gears to a lighter note. Tell me about your pet psychic ability.
Well, I think most people who have pets can tell you that if you're got any awareness at all, you can pretty well tell what your pet's thinking a lot of the times, or your pet certainly knows what you're thinking. Let me put it this way. If you've got a pet and you think about giving it a bath, or you think about leaving the house, or you think about clipping the toenails or whatever, 9 times you think about getting a snack. Most of the time, your pet is ahead of you. It's already there, or whatever is going on. And so I think they're kind of picking up on us all the time. And I think what we have to do sometimes is kind of be still, kind of hold the thought of our pet in our mind, and then kind of see what we're feeling when we do that. And I'm thinking if you do that, a lot of times you might feel certain things that perhaps becoming empathic with your pet. Now, when I do pet readings for people, their animal actually doesn't have to be here. If I can think you or feel you, I can find you. You don't have to be in the room with me. I read people on the other side of the planet as long as, you kind of let me in, or, I can hold you in my thought, whatever, you're there. There's time, space, it's all an illusion, okay? That's just my take on it, all right? Okay. But,
now, when you communicate with these pets, do they give you is it like a conversation you'd have with a human?
That's exactly what I'm trying to say. It is not like they speak to you in English and say, please tell Mother I need to do this. Although sometimes it might come across. What you basically get is their emotions. Then you get maybe pictures. Now sometimes you do get words. Often you do, but you got to translate it. It's like you get a feeling, a picture, perhaps a piece of English, okay, but you got to put it together in a way that kind of makes sense. And you got to kind of translate all that stuff into words that feel right. But that's basically the way you do it. For example, I might have a dog that, for example, I had a dog a while back that was just kind of feeling anxiety-ridden, and it was looking for its owner, and it was needing to have maybe a certain amount of attention that it wasn't getting. Or another time I picked up a cat out of the blue. I wasn't really doing a cat reading, but I was talking to somebody, and I asked, do you have a cat? Because it's hell-bent on getting a certain bird. It's just, just all about it. What is going on? And it turned out that this cat, actually its thing is to lay at the window and watch the bird feeder, which is just outside the window. But, it's kind of funny because it's like the cat just seemed to interrupt the reading to let us know that. But one time, actually, it was kind of funny. I was doing a session at somebody's house up a few states away, and they had 2 cats that were just lying there. And it's, again, I felt the cats were interrupting my thoughts, and it's like that cat is so aggravated because it feels like the other cat is calling it names, and it's just really angry. It just wants to smack the other one. And they were looking at me like I'm stupid because the cats are just laying there being all relaxed and comfortable. But I'm not making this up. The one cat that I said actually got up at that point as if on cue, walked across the floor, and knocked the crap out of the other. It was like, thank you, kitties, thank you. I needed that validation. It was funny. But, sometimes, you do pick them up like that. And then, sometimes it's more difficult than others. Yeah. I felt a dog the other day was kind of lonely, and hopefully I'm helping it because I told them they needed to get this dog a cat, and I'm thinking they're going to, so we'll have somebody to play with.
All right. Well, Angela, we're going to give you the final word here, and then we're going to take our leave.
the final word.
Yep, that's right.
Okay, make your future be what you want it to be. Have confidence in yourself. Visualize what you'd like to see happen. Clarify what you'd like to see happen. Focus on what's in front of you right now, keeping the goal of what you wish to be in mind at all times, and I think you'll maybe have a real good chance at getting it. How about that?
Sounds good.
Wow, that was very concise. Yes.
Yeah, well, Angela Moore, thank you for being on the program tonight. You can see her site, www.angela-moore.com. Thank you so much for being a guest.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Have a good night.
All right, bye-bye now.
Bye.
And that was Angela Moore.
What a nice lady.
She is a really nice
You
lady.
know?
I mean, you know me, I like to bash people.
And I really like that name, the Hillbilly Psychic. That's great.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't even get to ask her where she got that name, you know, unfortunately.
I love that heel and what was the other one?
Healing.
Yeah, healer, and there was another one there that Dale was trying to understand.
Dew.
Dew, yeah. That was kind of funny.
Oh, it's great.
But
well, what have we learned, Scott?
We have learned that we do not have enough registrants for the Out of Darkness tour.
That was awesome. That was a great segue.
Thank
Yes,
you.
yes,
Yeah,
that worked rather
guys,
well,
we
yes.
want to have this thing, and we know that you guys want to come down here and be a part of it in Greensboro, North Carolina, June the 9th, 2007, with Al Prophet, myself and the Wotu crew, Laura Moon from Full Moon Radio, Teresa Bain, the author of Actual Factual Dracula,
John Zaffis.
John Zaffis, the man, and Bill Schneblin, the ex-vampire.
Like he said, John Zaffis, the man.
That's right,
You know,
the man
that's a
himself
description.
in the flesh.
Yeah.
You know, and we really want to have this thing, and right now we just really need you guys to come together and help this thing become a reality.
That's right.
We're going to have to close this thing down by the end of April. April 30th is the day that we're gonna have to say no, we can't have the event and, refund all the ticket money that we've sold so far if we can't get at least 25 of you guys total to sign up. So if you're thinking about doing it, get that tax refund check back if you haven't got it already, and use $50 or $75 of that to get on board with us here. It's $50 for the all-day event. And it's near the airport, right near the airport, actually.
Yep.
It's less than a mile away. And there's a shuttle that'll take you to and from. $75, that's an all-day event, plus a dinner that night with all of us crazy people.
And it is pretty crazy.
And it's going to be crazy.
Chuck's
going to be there. It's going to
yeah,
be crazy.
You know,
Barry White himself, come and meet
that's right.
the
Dr.
white
Smooth
Barry White.
himself. And I have a gaze like Picasso. I don't know why I said that.
And also, guys, we've been giving out we want to give out a free ticket. So if you guys are interested in possibly attending the event for free, you can just email us at worldoftheunexplained@gmail.com, G for Google, and just type in the subject line, ticket, free ticket for Out of Darkness tour. Please enter me in the drawing. We'll be doing that in the next few weeks. If we have the event.
Right.
So, but we need you guys to come and sign up for this event because we'd really like to have it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just really a money issue. We can't fly these guys down here and provide them with a place to stay out of our own pockets. Because, there's so much money back here that Chuck's constantly counting us.
Right,
bring
and
D on.
we have to hoard it.
We do, yeah.
For the oncoming bank collapse.
Yeah, so we'd really like you. We'd really like to have this thing though.
Yeah, absolutely. www.outofdarknesstour.com. Right.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's correct.
Check it out. Sign it up.
Use PayPal. It's easy. It's quick.
It's fun.
It's secure. So,
wow, what a nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. PayPal.
Yeah,
it's
maybe
way
they'll
of the
pay
future.
us for that. All right, guys. Anyway, I guess that wraps things up for tonight.
More or less,
Yeah, next week we've got Dr. Raymond Moody.
Oh, that's going to be
father
great.
of a near-death experience.
Mm-hmm.
And the week after
That's
that,
a big-
Dr. Cyril Wecht. JFK.
Two big hitters right there.
Right, back to back, baby. That's right.
Yeah, that's how we like to run things around here.
That's right. Well, anyway, I'm Jay Scott, your only JD DJ on the, I'm not going to mention everybody. It's just really too stupid. But if you carry us in your radio station, thank you. And if you carry us and you're not a radio station, well, thank you there, too, on the Internet. So worldwide on the Internet and locally in little sporadic places. Go ahead, Trent.
This is Trent Lackey. We're coming to you from Carnival, North Carolina, a small town where we talk about big things. Pause, let it build.
Chuck.